Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack stories, find those insights, and basically help you get informed, maybe have a bit of fun too.
Exactly.
Today, we've got a really inspiring real-life story. And it's not just a good story, it actually makes learning English grammar, well, much clearer, more memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this as like a shortcut. You get this fascinating personal journey, but you also see how English actually works mechanically.
That's the goal?
Our mission today, follow Robert. He's a kid from Costa Rica, lands in LA, late 80s, doesn't speak a word of English. We see how he transforms, becomes fluent, and then eventually goes back home to teach English himself.
And what's really great here, I think, is how his journey sort of becomes a living grammar guide.
Mhm.
You know, we'll see past tenses telling the story.
Right.
Comparisons shaping how he saw things, conditionals exploring all those what-ifs. It's grammar in action, basically.
Yeah, embedded in real life, which makes it stick, right?
Exactly. You grasp the nuances, completed actions, future possibilities, all through this one person's life. Pretty compelling stuff.
Okay, let's rewind. End of the 80s. Picture this. Robert, just a kid. Costa Rica to California, stepping into Jordan Jaguar School in La Habra.
Wow.
And he didn't speak any English. Zero. You can just imagine that feeling, can't you? Everything sounds alien. He felt super nervous.
Oh, definitely. And it's those moments, those details that make it vivid. When we say Robert arrived or he entered or he didn't speak English, that's the past simple. It's like, bam, snapshots of completed past actions, the basic facts. He arrived. He entered.
It's the scene.
Exactly. And he felt nervous again. Past simple. Just a direct state of being at that time. These are the building blocks, grounding us in what actually happened.
Totally. And right then, in that fear, this key person shows up, Mrs. Shaw, his teacher. She noticed his fear right away.
That's important.
And instead of, making it worse, she told him, Robert, don't worry, you will learn. Imagine hearing that as a scared kid. Just amazing kindness.
Yeah, and again, she noticed. She told him more past simple actions. But the key thing about her, the description, she was always kinder than other teachers.
Ah, okay.
That's a comparative. We're comparing her to others.
Yeah.
It highlights that difference, right? Her patience, her warmth, compared to maybe what he saw elsewhere, says a lot about her.
You can almost feel his relief. And it clearly worked, because despite being scared, Robert, well, he buckled down, studied hard, every day. The story says he was practicing new words while listening to music. And get this, after only a few months, he could already speak with classmates. That's fast progress.
It really is.
Yeah.
And he was practicing. That's the past continuous. It shows something ongoing in the past. Not just he practiced, but he was in the process of practicing.
You see the effort,
right?
Immersion.
Exactly. And then he could already speak. That could is a past modal. It shows his ability in the past. A huge step he was able to talk to people. His world just opened up.
And what a world. He learned faster than he had expected. Which leads to some really cool LA experiences that shaped him, like one huge memory, a 3D Michael Jackson movie at Disneyland.
Ooh, wow.
He called it the most exciting movie he had ever seen.
Okay, so now we're layering things. Two important tools here. First, faster than he had expected. That had expected is past perfect.
Right.
It means the expectation happened before the learning happened. It sets up a sequence in the past. One thing finished before the next started.
Got it.
And then the most exciting movie he had ever seen, that combines the past perfect had ever seen with a superlative, the most exciting. Superlatives show the absolute highest degree. That movie was #1 for him up to that point.
You really feel the wonder, don't you?
Okay.
He also went to Universal Studios,
Yeah.
and this is great. He sat in KITT, the Knight Rider car.
No way.
Yeah, and the story says he was talking to the car as if it were real.
That's brilliant. As if it were real. That's an unreal conditional.
Oh.
It tells us he knew it wasn't real, but he acted like it was. We're in his imagination for a second. It's for hypothetical stuff, things contrary to fact. And then Anne was talking. Still past continuous, showing that ongoing, fun interaction.
That KITT moment, it could have been just, a fun little fantasy. But apparently, it inspired him quite deeply.
Interesting.
Which makes you think, right, what if? If Robert hadn't gone to Los Angeles, he wouldn't have lived those experiences.
Boom, there it is. The third conditional. If Robert hadn't gone, he wouldn't have lived. It's perfect for talking about hypothetical pasts that didn't happen and their unreal results. The big what-ifs about history we can't change.
Right, the path not taken.
Exactly. And when you said the KITT moment could have been just a fantasy, that could have been as a past modal, it expresses a past possibility that didn't define the whole outcome. It had the potential to be just fantasy, but became more.
So looking back, Robert sometimes feels California was more adventurous than Costa Rica. But he also points out Costa Rica today is safer than LA was back in the 90s.
Yeah, interesting contrast.
And he remembers how difficult it had been to understand slang back then.
See, those comparatives just keep coming up naturally.
Yeah.
More adventurous than, safer than essential for comparing places, times, and how difficult it had been. That's past perfect again.
Okay.
The difficulty happened before he's remembering it now.
Yeah.
It highlights that past struggle he overcame.
Yeah, slang is tough. And it seems Mrs. Shaw's influence really stuck. He realized that patient teaching, well, it could change lives, like she changed his. And now he teaches grammar in the simplest way, directly inspired by her, which really drives home that thought. If Mrs. Shaw had ignored him, he might have failed.
Such a powerful link back. The simplest way. I know this is superlative. It shows his teaching philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Teaching could change lives. Uses the past modal could for that potential he saw firsthand.
All right.
And that third conditional again. If Mrs. Shaw had ignored him, he might have failed.
Yeah.
Using might have instead of would have adds a bit of uncertainty. Failure was possible, maybe likely, but not 100% certain. It really emphasizes her choice to care.
And her care definitely worked. By the time he finished school, wow, he had already become fluent.
Amazing.
He had been studying English for 5 whole years by then, and at university, he kept going, reading more books than most of his classmates.
Okay, so he had already become fluent, past perfect. Action done before another past point finishing school.
Right.
He had been studying for 5 years. That's past perfect continuous, emphasizes the duration leading up to that point. 5 years of continuous effort.
Yeah, that shows commitment.
Totally. And reading more books than most classmates. That neatly combines past continuous ongoing reading with a comparative. Shows his drive compared to others.
So the idea of teaching started brewing. One day, he actually thought, in the future, I will help others like Mrs. Shaw helped me.
The calling begins.
Yeah, he got it.
Wow.
If he teaches others, he will honor her memory. And for his own students now, if they work hard, they will improve quickly.
Perfect. That thought, I will help others, uses the future simple for intention. And the next two, classic first conditional. If he teaches, he will honor, and his students work hard, they will improve. Real probable future situations, cause and effect. If this happens, that will likely follow. Very practical.
It helps to remember the time, too, the 90s. Technology wasn't as advanced as today, obviously.
Oh yeah, big difference.
But Robert was apparently more curious than afraid of it, though he did think later that he should have studied computers earlier. But English was his focus.
That comparison wasn't as advanced as good negative comparative. And more curious than afraid. Another simple comparison. But he should have studied computers earlier. That's a key past modal.
How so?
Should have. Plus, the past participle expresses regret or looking back at an obligation you didn't fulfill. He sees that other path now, the one he could have taken but didn't.
Right, hindsight. Okay, fast forward decades. Robert's back in Costa Rica, decides to teach English online.
Big shift.
Yeah, and at first it was harder than face-to-face teaching, but pretty soon it became easier than he had imagined.
There we go again. Comparatives easier than tracking how he adapted, and easier than he had imagined. That past perfect shows his initial imagining happened before the reality turned out better. His experience beat his expectation.
So now, present day. Robert lives in Costa Rica. He teaches students all over the world. In fact, he is teaching online right now as we speak.
Fantastic.
And listen to this. He has already taught for over 2 decades, and he has been helping students build confidence for years.
Okay, this is a brilliant showcase of present tenses. He teaches present simple, current facts, routines.
Standard stuff?
Right. He is teaching right now, present continuous. Action happening this very moment.
Okay.
He has already taught for 2 decades. Present perfect. Past action with current relevance, focusing on the result or duration up until now. And he has been helping students present perfect continuous, emphasizes an action started in the past and still continuing, shows that long-term, ongoing impact.
And he feels it. He is prouder today than he was back in the 90s, calls his online school the most rewarding project of his life.
That's wonderful.
And his students. Many say Robert is the best teacher they have ever had.
Wow. You hear those comparatives, prouder than, and superlatives, most rewarding, best teacher, expressing his current feelings and achievements, and best teacher they have ever had. That superlative plus present perfect is perfect, true for them right up to this minute.
So you still wonder about those other paths. The story says, If Robert hadn't studied in the U.S., he wouldn't be teaching now.
Ah, yes.
He could have chosen a different career, but nope, followed the passion.
That's a great mixed conditional. If Robert hadn't studied, that's the past unreal condition, like third conditional.
Right.
He wouldn't be teaching now. That's the present result, like second conditional. It links that past what if directly to his present reality.
Cool.
And he could have chosen another career, past modal again. Could have chose that past possibility he didn't take. Highlights his choice.
And the passion's still there. He says he would travel back to California if he had the chance.
Yeah.
He might visit Universal Studios again sometime. Maybe. He will probably take his family there eventually. Full circle.
Love it.
And he thinks if his students went to California, they would enjoy it like he did.
Okay, so he would travel if he had the chance. It's the second conditional. Hypothetical, present, or future, maybe unlikely, but possible, and its result.
Right.
Then future possibilities. Might visit, uses might less certain, will probably take, uses will, more certain plan or prediction. And the second conditional, again for his students, tying their potential trip back to his own joy.
It all comes down to this. Robert knows learning English changes lives. He feels he is more patient than most teachers, probably because he always tells them, I was once like you.
That connection is key.
He remembers Mrs. Shaw, how she used to encourage him constantly. He thinks she must have believed in him, maybe more than he believed in himself back then. He teaches today because she cared then.
Such a moving conclusion there. More patient than comparative, defining his style. I was once like you, past simple, creating that empathy.
Yeah.
She used to encourage him, for that past habit, her consistent support. And she must have believed in him. That past modal must have shows a strong deduction about the past. He's piecing together her unwavering faith in him. Past kindness shaping the present. Powerful.
It really is. And Robert believes, if every student had a teacher like her, learning would be easier. He thinks English is not as hard as people often imagine. I mean, he has taught students younger than he was back in the 80s and older than his parents were then. He sees the reality. If students practice daily, they will improve quickly. Simple as that. If they don't practice, they won't progress.
Truth.
His classes, more dynamic than traditional ones, his method, the most effective he has ever used. He could have stopped teaching years ago. He never did. He might have lived an easier life, maybe. But he says nothing is more satisfying than helping a student succeed.
Wow. What a fantastic summary of his core beliefs.
Yeah.
You've got the second conditional with a comparative. If every student had, learning would be easier.
Yeah.
The negative comparative, not as hard as challenging myths. Present perfect with comparatives has taught younger than, older than, showing his vast experience.
Right.
The crucial first conditional pair, if students practice, they will improve.
Yeah.
About effort and results. Then those past modals again could have stopped, might have lived, glancing at those other lives, reinforcing why he chose this one, because nothing is more satisfying.
It's just a really solid commitment. If he had to start all over again, he says he would still choose teaching.
Incredible.
He feels God guided him through Mrs. Shaw. Today, he is grateful for everything California taught him. He is still teaching right now because he wants to honor that whole story. And after more than 20 years, he's teaching in Costa Rica with the exact same passion he found as that kid in Los Angeles.
What a journey. And through telling it, we've really seen how grammar brings a story to life, haven't we? We used past simple, past continuous for the timeline, comparatives, superlatives for feelings and experiences, past perfect for sequencing, all those conditionals. First, second, third, mixed exploring possibilities. And the past modals could have, might have, should have, must have, digging into past choices, regrets, deductions. Seeing them in Robert's life makes them, well, less like rules and more like tools, tools for sharing your own stories with real depth.
Absolutely. Robert's story is just such a powerful reminder, isn't it? Learning English isn't just about grammar charts. It's about opening doors, connecting, really changing your life. And maybe helping others change theirs.
Yeah.
Like Robert, you listening, you can overcome challenges, get fluent. You might even find your own learning journey become something you can use to help others down the line.
Definitely possible.
So here's something to think about. How could your own journey, maybe even the tough parts, become a way to help someone else learn and grow? What's the unique story you have inside you, waiting to be shared in English?
Great question to ponder.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
Robert English Coach. Robert English Coach.